Comm Center, Desolation Peak.
Desolation.
We are story animals. We have been making pictures on walls or whatever 2D surfaces to tell story, to tell our human story. That's what we do. That's the most human thing we do, is story. I've just always drew. I've always had a little callus on my middle finger because I was a drawer from the earliest memories. I spent a lot of time with my microscope, and I had an old biology book, and I would look at those slides and I'd see things like paramecium or amoebas and whatnot, and I thought my job was to draw them and try to figure out what they were.
It's interesting going on a hike with Jim because he notices everything and he's always looking so closely at it. He was always a much better lookout than I was.
I was very excited about finding fire, and she was too, but she'd much rather be out counting wildflowers.
By the time we were doing the lookout, we were already married. And that was just an incredible 9 years of doing that together.
It was like we were one word. It was Jim and Emery. Jim and Emery said, and Jim and Emery said, I got a report on it. It was pretty hilarious. It's just part of our identity and how it's always been.
Then we thought we were done because we were always told they were going to be closed. We were going to be replaced by volunteers or cameras at the lookouts.
This is my 4th year with the Park Service. I've done 20-some years with the Forest Service prior to that. If I hadn't started down that track, I'd be a very different person. Some people would think I was rather eccentric, doing the living alone thing. I find the lookout experience to be very full.
Mostly clear, slight chance of rain showers in the evening. LAL is 1. Minimum temps are 56 to 62 in the valleys and 48 to 57 in the mountains. Max humidity is 60 to 70%. Great.
So much of really interesting drawing and seeing really is in the values. Spotting smokes too, it's how we spot smokes. Those highest points of contrast out there between the darks and the lights, that's what catches our eye.
So I get pretty neurotic about looking around, like right now, feeling like I haven't looked around for as long as I've been talking, which is far too long probably.
The lookouts still maintain their first use, but it's a broader use now. Yes, you're responsible for fire. Now he's also responsible for passing on the history.
If there hadn't been just these individuals in the right place at the right time, we would not have saved this stuff. There were powerful economic forces trying to stop any kind of preservation effort. Suddenly, people wanted the national forest to survive, and they wanted a fire crew to protect them, and they wanted them funded, for goodness sake. It just spiraled from there.
And that's we're going to see a bit of that in the debate. There's a real debate and discussion in the Obama administration about whether to...
Oh, and then we got Clearance Clearwater Revival, but they're really coming in weak. It's because they were so long ago. Probably a 3-year-old black bear. Ursus americanus. Gary Lopez speaks of the wilderness experience as having snapped us like fresh laundered sheets. Just thought that was such a great description of it. It seems to rewire us. We lived in wilderness for most of our career here on the planet, and that's where our brain developed, and that's where we learned beauty.
So I keep visitors' logs. There were a few up here, but they were kind of spotty, and being an illustrator, I annotated it with decorations, some stickers and stuff. Pieces out of my favorite passage in the Smokey the Bear comic book. The man in the lookout spotted the rising smoke, and he quickly pinpointed the blaze. So much history with so much beauty. Thanks. Often just short notes. Finally made it to Desolation Peak at 66 years old. What a wonderful accomplishment. One day the kids will see this place. Magic. Jim's coffee is the best. I don't give out coffee normally, but it was a terrible day. Now, you know, when people come back someday, they can actually go to the logs and find that entry by their parent or grandparent or a friend. This is 10 years after the big burn of 1926.
This present moment that lives on to become long ago. Everything, every moment of our life is there for eternity. Did we do something with that moment that will be a good story? At the least, will it be something that make things better for the future?
Desolation.